Hey, this is Gatorex, and yesterday Pikachu and I looked at the new footage of Detective Pikachu, the movie. But what's interesting is that kind of allowed something else to happen. Now, what I'm going to be talking about today is something that was actually from like 3 days ago, but it didn't actually get pick up steam until like yesterday because we were reminded of Detective Pikachu, and it's just really interesting. Really quickly, I want to remind you though, check out the GatorX podcast. Episode 2 is up now, went up yesterday. That's going to be on GatorX Plays, but let's go ahead and start talking about what we got here today. Now, this does come from Twitter user Steven. Let's see, his handle is at monkeysmm55. I'm gonna have text right here when I can see it better. But yeah, go ahead and check this dude out. So apparently, the story is, he says, so the Detective Pikachu Pokemon cards got released in France and gave us a look at several Pokemon that will be in the movie we've yet to get a look at, and they look amazing. Well, that's his personal opinion. My personal opinion, I think they look pretty good. Look at Arcanine, he's so fluffy and badass. So that's really interesting because the cards are supposed to come out in April, like April 5th, I believe, but already like February, let's see, this was like 3 days ago, like February 12th or so, they actually just ended up just somewhere in France, which that's pretty cool. There are images of the entire set, but from what I've seen, and because for whatever reason not a lot of people are posting pictures, most of the other Pokemon, aside from like these 4 right here, are ones that have already been shown. There was also a Lickitung card too, that I think he mentions like right here also in this tweet, but we got to see Lickitung in the trailer. See, there's also Lickitung here, so we actually got the first look at Lickitung like 2 days before the actual trailer went up, but just nobody knew that. That's one of the things about Detective Pikachu. Not many people are talking about it, and again, the fact that this is a story coming from France and it's about the cards, not necessarily about the movie. But at the very least, with the trailer coming out, the story of like these cards, being out there in France has come up. So at least, tweets like these have gotten the attention that they probably need. Like, Lickitung looks so cute here, but much better here than in the trailer. Well, okay, in the trailer, I even think he looks great. But point is, we got some Pokemon here. We've got an Arcanine. It's called Arcanine in French here. We've got Slacking, which is called Mana Flamit. Max Gru, I'm sorry, these aren't the best pictures for Machamp, and Magikarp E for Magikarp. So it's real interesting. The cards, I don't know how amazing they'll be. I can't read the effects necessarily, but Arcanine at the very least has an ability. Let's actually go ahead and take a closer look, which again, thank you, sir, for posting these images. Other people are posting images of like their cards and stuff, but like this is the one that's, picking up, but at the same time, it's still only got like 600 or 200 likes and like 62 retweets, which, I mean, you're getting a look at like new Pokemon and how they're gonna look, because with the card game, they're not necessarily screen caps of the movies, of scenes from the movie. I'm pretty sure, but at the very least, these are the 3D models that are going to be used in the movie. So let's go ahead and take a look at Machamp here a little closer. Machamp, I think, looks pretty good. He looks pretty similar to how we've seen Machamp in so many other 3D Pokemon media, specifically like Pokken, right? So it's interesting. Of course, we can't see how detailed his skin is going to be, or how smooth he's going to be, but like Machamp really doesn't look much different. Of course, I would assume there's probably going to be small, some differences between the images on the card and whatever happens in the movie. And then obviously, if they're going to be in the card, if they're going to have, all of this work done for these Pokemon, obviously they're going to end up being in the movie. So, I think that's very likely. And again, it's the whole thing of like, movie sells the cards sell the movie, maybe. But point is, Machamp's pretty cool. It looks like he's in the middle of an intersection here, working as a crossing guard, which I just think is amazing because he's got 4 arms, so might as well. It's also kind of a heroic pose. That's pretty neat. But again, I think that's a great detail of the Detective Pikachu movie, just having Pokemon in the real world. Yeah, just seeing how Pokemon would work in our real world. Again, it doesn't look much different from Pokken Machamp, which actually I really kind of like Machamp as of late, specifically with Pokken. But I think that's pretty cool. We'll probably see him. And again, we had discussed with all the way back with like the very first look at Detective Pikachu with the set photos. That was like a year ago. We knew Machamp was going to be in this movie, so that's pretty neat. Next, we got Magikarp, which looks like Magikarp. This is water here, at least, because otherwise I was going to think, oh, he looks kind of slimy, because, the whole thing of, like, you seeing, fan-made images of, like, realistic-looking Pokemon, and Magikarp has always been interesting. It just looks like a Magikarp. Again, this one looks a little more cartoon-like, so I don't know how, to what degree they're going to appear in the movie, because, like I said, very likely the Pokemon in these cards are going to be in the movies. And yeah, like I was saying, all these Pokemon here that are in the cards, like these specific ones I'm looking at now are ones that we haven't seen. And for whatever reason, there just aren't a lot of images of these, because people aren't really posting them. But at the very least, it's a small set, right? And every card seems holographic. There are other Pokemon, There's Charmander, there's Charizard, there's Pikachu, of course, or, Detective Pikachu, Jigglypuff, all of those. And I'm really hoping that we get to see more images of them soon, or that people just post more images, because we get better looks at them. Then we got Slacking here, the Harambe himself, which he looks pretty good, I think, with this fur. One interesting thing, again, this is another Generation 3 Pokemon, and what we talked about yesterday is that Ludicolo seemed like he was going to be in the movie, so that's pretty neat. We get to see some Gen 3 representation. But something odd or interesting is, again, with these cards, some of them are evolutions, right? And from what I've seen so far is that we don't exactly have like their pre-evolutions as cards. So that's going to be interesting, because you're going to have to introduce those in a set elsewhere, or like somewhere else in the Sun and Moon series. There's got to be their pre-evolutions. Overall, I think that looks, he kind of just straight up looks like a gorilla with a pig nose, which that's basically what Slacking is. I think it looks good with all that fur everywhere. And then, of course, lastly, we've got the goodest boy Arcanine here, which we knew Growlithe was going to be in the movie from the trailer yesterday, and that might make sense, because, there's going to be police force here. And so we've got Arcanine, and Arcanine looks interesting. I actually really do like how it looks. I was talking with some friends the other day, and I think specifically Arcanine looks a little thinner than we typically see it in the video games, or at least it looks a little more dog-shaped, I guess. The only thing, I think the eyes are a little odd. They seem a little small. Maybe that's it, but then again, I think that's pretty realistic looking. But overall, Arcanine I think looks like really good. I think the stance works out, and I think the structure and build for it is pretty nice. The tail is very fluffy. The head is very, very fluffy. Like it works, because again, Arcanine I thought has always looked just not fat, but okay, kind of just very, very fluffy. And then this one, I think we kind of get to see a better look at Arcanine, and with how maybe the fluff isn't necessary, because that's the thing with Pokemon in different styles. With this more realistic looking style, it's probably more likely this is how it looks, and just when you're drawing it, it comes out a little different with how this fluff is translated. Let's see, overall, yeah, it does look like he's part of, he's like one of the police Pokemon, which, we saw Growlithe was going to be in the movie, so very likely Growlithe is here. Like, there's a Growlithe card, too. There's just no good images of it, because that's the problem. For whatever reason, even though it's been a few days, there just aren't more images of these, and I'm looking, I'm trying to find, but I'm not seeing much. So hopefully maybe we'll get more, so that's cool. But yeah, like I said, these dog Pokemon, they're part of the police force. They're helping the police, and we saw that with Snubble too. Snubble looks like he's gonna be there as well, a dog Pokemon. But for the most part, that's kind of it in terms of like these Pokemon. Overall, this is an interesting situation, which is how early these cards got leaked, and in France. So hopefully our French Pokemon buddies over there pick up these cards and maybe post some better pictures, scan them in, and that'd be really neat. Like I said, the other Pokemon that I saw in this set were Charmander, Growlithe, Jigglypuff. There's like one image of the entire set all together, but it doesn't look really good at all. Yeah, see in this tweet right here from Poke_collector, there are, yeah, see, like, this isn't good. Like, there's a Charmander there. There's the Mr. Mime, which we've seen. I can't tell what this is. It's a water type, but I mean, because I don't speak French and I can't see the image very well. Like, that's the issue, is that there aren't like good individual images of these so far. But For the most part, it seems like, this is the set because, it's a small mini set and they're all holographic, as you can see. So that's kind of the point of this set. But anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments below. How are these Pokemon shaping up to be visually, and how's Detective Pikachu looking overall? I enjoyed that look that we got yesterday, and I'm definitely awaiting another full trailer because there's going to be a lot more Pokemon. So already we've got a pretty long list of Pokemon that are going to be in this movie. Again, a good amount of them are going to be Generation 1, but we're going to be some different generations mixed in here and there. Leave a comment below and let me know what you think. Obviously, again, I want to remind you, check out GatorX Plays, posting gameplay videos and a podcast that happens every 2 weeks. It's really cool. Your support means a lot. Anyway, if you enjoyed the content, remember to leave a like and subscribe to show your support. You can enable notifications by clicking the bell icon next to the subscribe button. This will make sure you see each new video as it comes out and will make you a member of the Chingling Squad. Anyway, this has been GatorX. Have a nice day.